Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War with the Great War mod. Last time around, our army, as we can see here, moved up to Belgrade, where it fought an army and then laid siege to the town. At the same time, on the, well, not really a high seas, in the Mediterranean, we were able to take out the Austrian navy, which left us in complete control of the Mediterranean. And, I mean, our trade lanes haven't really been under threat for any amount of time, really. But, I mean, with us really, I guess it was taking out the Ottomans that really secured it for us, more than the Austro-Hungarian. But I was able to set up, of course, trade all the way over here at the Suez Canal, where we get coal, and also through Tunisia, so that's great. At the same time, we had some moves being made over here. Of course, the French managed to take Berlin. Our aircraft, Oliver Pitt, Oliver Pitt is not the name of the aircraft, but the pilot, Oliver Pitt, was able to take down a German pilot. Where is the German capital has been moved to Warsaw? If anyone was wondering where they moved it to. The Austrians took back that. We actually have an Austrian plane here. I could. Do I have any more fighters in the? We also got bombed, right? We got bombed here. I guess the plane. I don't know what happened to the plane because I can't see it. Because it flew away. Anyways, let's get into it, shall we? Enough talking about what happened last time. So, let's go ahead and start here. Now, as we can see, a lot of my battalions are at half strength. I still have heavy artillery, though, and the enemy has none. So it should be a cakewalk, really, when it comes to just auto-resolving this. But obviously, I'm a little bit worried that, you know, the game would just throw a wrench straight into the spokes of my machinery and derail the entire thing. So I'm just quickly going to go ahead and auto-resolve and then... No, auto-save. That's what I meant. And then we'll go ahead and auto-resolve. My fears were unfounded. We only lost 92 men while taking out 1,400 enemies. Australian battalions up top, pretty even. Even the general managed to shoot 3 people somehow. And with that, I can now liberate Serbia. Trying to hold it is, yeah, there's no point, really. It doesn't have a port either, which would be something that I would really be looking for. So we're gonna go ahead and liberate the Kingdom of Serbia, Belgrade. I don't know why they added it like that. Oh, we gained some troops out of that. Infantry battalion and Special Forces anti-tank snipers. I don't know if the Germans managed to put tanks and stuff on the field. I bet kind of the Russians might have done it. Who knows? Maybe the Italians have been doing good. Maybe they've got tanks, who knows? Anyways, the Serbians are back. Can't set up trade with them, but they are a protectorate. And I don't really see... I guess they could set up trade with... They could set up trade with Romania. Hopefully Romania stays... I did ally with Romania, so hopefully they don't decide to attack my protectorate. I guess next area we're going to is Croatia. That will open up a port. And that will give a direct route for my troops. For my trade to go through, so I can actually trade with the Serbians. Cavalry, I might not even have the cavalry join the main force, and we'll just put the new troops in the army there as we advance towards Zagreb, Croatia. We might be able to release Croatia as well. And that may devolve into a war on the Balkans, and we know what happened then, and it's just an utter mess, right? Anyway, so that's what we're doing there. That ended up doing just fine. Now it's Allenby's turn to make his move, and he's going to make his move to lift the siege here. Now he's close enough that if the Germans go ahead and try and sally forth and try and attack the town, he will be able to support it coming up behind them. He will absolutely destroy them. At the same time, there isn't really a lot here, right? The Germans don't have a lot in Pomerania, and it's not like there's a big full stack coming up through here anytime soon. So I think I am safe in moving Hague through along the coast here and taking out that city. And that will gain us very close to achieving our goal. We're holding 8 out of the 12 regions. The regions we're missing is Austria, and then of course Brandenburg, Pomerania, and Western Prussia. Problem, of course, is one of those is held by our ally France, but I'm hoping France is going to go ahead and drop that province. Given that the Germans are attacking there, we might go ahead and, you know what? We'll take these troops that we've stationed here and move them forward. There's no need for them to be held back here. Let's make sure that everyone, all the regions, we're taxing them. We're even being able to tax this one with just barely recently taking it, and they seem to have no problem with that. Making quite a bit of cash now that I've been able to turn on the hose in terms of money coming out of Constantinople. So we'll definitely get all the Elizabeth class ships. Is it Queen Elizabeth class super dreadnoughts? We'll get all of those ready so we can see about bombarding down the German Navy and then get through here. I don't think I have any more moves to make. I have started somewhat building a force down here. We've got rifle bombardiers and light howitzers being built. And then slowly, as we go along, I am going to reduce the amount of service battalions that we're holding here to save money in upkeep, and also just, I mean, there's no need for them. I'm also recruiting a destroyer in case Romania ends up not giving me room to pass here. I do think they will. Let's see. Military access. I will offer indefinite, I will demand indefinite, and will give them tons of technology to go ahead and they definitely want trench technology, so I think they'll agree to this. Noble sovereigns is well delighted that our talks have ended, so right, we've got indefinite abilities to move through, and that actually opens up us for attacking Transylvania as well as Moldova. So that's good. And now all the moves are made. Let's go ahead and end turn. See what our enemies come up with. We've got a researcher on Ireland, Alistair Lucas. Lenin returns from exile. That guy right there. I don't know. That's a bad pick right there. He probably wants that retouched. Someone could definitely do something about that. Right. Lenin returns from exile. So Russia's problems keep increasing. The destroyer was built in the Black Sea. We've got a factory complex in Birmingham and an industrial port in Ireland. Good, good. I'm waiting. Yes, now we're able to build a military naval academy. I don't know exactly what that will do, but I'm gonna go ahead and build it there. Right. You should go straight into research. We're currently researching advanced gas warfare, MF, Madop, and tanks. Broadcasting real slick Madop on the radio. That's what we're doing. Let's see, we can start building some more of these Elizabeth-class ships. I think that's all of them, or the fact that I can't afford any more, because that was all the money we had. Right, so the Germans didn't make an advance here, which is good. The only thing I saw what the Germans did was they actually moved troops away from Pomerania, so it seems like we're going in for another quite easy victory here. I want my aircraft to go through. I want to see what's going on in the eastern half here. Because the Germans, of course, lost this very early on, big parts of the east, but then were able to retake it. Looks like it's still kind of burning in this area. I've also seen a lot of Russian troops being moved around. And smaller formations, but formations nonetheless. Spy aircraft, we can move it a little. Ooh, Italians and a lot of researchers, right, moving. Not a big Italian force though, so nothing to be really worried about. We're gonna have the let's stay within our own allied territories so we get resupplied, and then the cavalry will follow. Wonderful. My aircraft went to check on these. They have quite a big force here. I don't know why they're not just moving that out to retake the Hungarian plain. I would definitely be working harder on plugging this gap that the Russians... I mean, the Russians are probably recruiting troops here. There's tons of troops. Yeah, I guess just there's so many that Russia has trouble just dealing with any of it. The Austro-Hungarians definitely not doing well right now, having to rebuild their capital in the manner which they're doing right now. Looks like the Italians might be sending another full stack coming at the capital, and the Austrians got a force here which they're not moving. The thing is, my enemy, they've got tons of troops which they could move into dangerous positions against our forces, but they don't. They just sit around, which I find rather frustrating. Right, the aircraft that was here has disappeared, so my fighter has nothing to fight. He can go ahead and try and shoot this guy down, but only 5% chance. I guess it's not so much that it's difficult to shoot him down as much as it's difficult to find the bastard in the middle of nowhere here in Saxony. Right, with that, let's go for the first battle of this episode, in which we strike this German force in the back. We've got Max von Hausen. It's got some broken up infantry battalions, some cavalry. It's actually Bavarian Chevalier, 6th Dragoons, against my force. We're outnumbering them by almost 800 men, plus they've got no artillery, so it's a cakewalk. We'll blow them up before they even know we hit them. Here's my battle deployment. So we have all the forward troops deployed right up at the front. We might even be able to shoot the general within seconds here at the start. Artillery in the center and the back with the general, all the infantry drawn up in a line ready to advance, and cavalry stationed on the right. With that said, let's go ahead and start, and let's quickly move the main line up to join the forward troops, and then also move the cavalry into the wooded position on the right. So we're able to fire here onto the general with the Canadian assault detachments. He's bravely holding his position, but I would say it's bravery to the point of foolishness, and he is completely on his own there. and he was destroyed. Now, even with the broken battalions that are moving against us, our assault unit's not gonna hold against that. We have 2 bombs here, actually. Maybe I should let the enemy walk onto those bombs. We pull the troops back a little bit. I put barbed wire in between. I'm not sure, don't think the cavalry will walk onto it. So all our troops are making a faint retreat. What I should do is actually focus the artillery over on their left side. The dragoons might actually yeah, they're firing back. We should fire in turn. For God's sake, sir, help! Should be losing more dragoons than us, given that we have the forest to our advance. Right, the enemy's gonna walk onto that. For nothing else than it'll look nice for the thumbnail when there's a 2 big explosions in among the barbed wire there. And it'll take out, it'd save a lot of my men, because quite a few German battalions will get completely annihilated in that. Now I'm bombarding this side, of course, because if I do a cavalry charge on this side, I want these units to be broken up a lot more. Right? Should bring the main line a little bit forward, just so it's in line with firing upon the enemy when they get through this. These troops put in reserve. Right, we can see the morale wavering a little bit on this side. Let's get rid of those dragoons. Cavalry forward. They're about to walk onto the bombs. They passed the barbed wire. They're getting shot by the rifles. They're passing the barbed wire. The bomb should be around there and there. But they're not really setting it off. Right, the artillery will now... There we go! There goes one of the bombs. The artillery will now focus on this side as the cavalry makes its advance. At the same time as that's happening, we're going to take the infantry plus the West Indian troops. Gonna turn them up to be facing the enemy. These guys are going to make straightforward charge towards the enemy. The units directly facing that will hold fire so that we don't shoot our own men. And then this troop will make their charge towards the troops further away. Also might be time to tell the artillery to hold fire. Cavalry breaking the units. And now going for the reservists. We'll tell the rest of the force to hold fire as the cavalry is now making its assault. What? Cannon units are still firing. The German Landwehr is overwhelmed. And with that, the last forces broken up. It was already to begin with a smaller German force that we faced, and we broke it up pretty nicely. You can even see, if you look here, you can kind of see it from this angle, you can see the bodies littering over here because the big explosion was somewhere around here and just threw the bodies back like that. But there we have it. Really good fight. low casualties on our side. Even if there was high, there's really good replenishment in this region, so Allenby should be able to advance into Saxony in good order. Here's the result of that battle. We managed to lose 304 compared to 1,400 of the enemy. Our force remains very much intact with 2,424 men, compared to the enemy, which was reduced to 219 soldiers. Also, the enemy lost their general. In terms of kills, it's the heavy howitzers followed by the sappers. It's only a 3-man difference there. The sappers were able to blow up 165 troops in that explosion. Then we've got the cavalry, of course, as they rode a lot of the enemy down in their charge. And then the Indian infantry, which of course was the one that were allowed to fire their rifle the longest, as they were the ones stationed on the left. Least kills goes to Canadian shock troops. But most of what they did was shoot at the general unit. There we have that. The force remains, which I don't like. Well, I like it in one way, because, that's going to be quite interesting. We're going to attack a bridge that is defended by the Germans. But I guess we'll have to follow here and just get a cheeky little auto-resolve on the 212 men that are left by the enemy force. We lost 68 men against their 212. Field guns did most of the work with 100 kills. We should, I believe, be ready to move within one turn. This puts us a little bit, too far away than I'd like, because I would want to jump on Moltke in one jump. Huh. I wonder what he has more than attacking general. Nice. I wonder what he has. Can't repair this. Do I have a spy plane close by that we can send in? Take a look at what these has. We can have the spy plane return. I have a spy plane right here. But you also... This is one that I should actually send. And this one should take a look at what's going on. Some stuff burning out here. What we'll do is we'll do a move like that. We'll move out here and then down through here. So we can kind of see why these are burning. Are there actually lots of Russian troops coming through there? That fight was really quick and over really fast. So I think what we'll do is we'll end turn and we'll go on to the next one where we'll take Croatia. I wonder if we can create the nation of Croatia. It will be a nation that I can trade with, and it'll keep the Austrians off it. Belgrade was like burned to a crisp, and all. No, it's both actually have training facilities. Yeah, I think we're gonna liberate the Croatians if we have the possibility. I know they have. I don't know for certain that Croatia is available to be set free, but I know that they have taken the time to work out a ton of these emerging factions that can come from all kinds of regions. So that'll be interesting. So yeah, let's go ahead and end turn, and then have Sir Horace Smith Dorian go ahead and take Zagreb, possibly then, setting up the Croatian nation. We are within striking distance of Zagreb, but we do have something more important going on. French army mutinies. By 1917, French army mutinies took place among the French army troops on the Western Front in northern France. During World War I, they started just after the unsuccessful and costly Second Battle of the Aisne. I don't know how I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce that. Anyway, somewhere a failed In the Neville offensive in April 1917, the new French commander of the armies in France, General Robert Nivelle, had promised a decisive victory over the Germans in 48 hours. Morale in French armies rose to a great height, and the shock of the failure soured the mood overnight. Yeah, I mean, at this point in the war, giving something like that, we will beat them within 48 hours. It's a bit optimistic, especially if it is, as to say, the new French commanders who just took command. Pitt, been spotted by someone. Auxiliary gained. Dusty librarian. We have some construction made. Yorkshire's built up a little bit. Some troops being stationed in Romalia. Looks like Berlin is firmly in the hand of the French. They are even now pushing forward against the Germans. They're so passive, the Germans, for some reason. They've been very passive. I mean, they're that close to each other here. I mean, obviously the French do not have enough troops to attack here, but who knows? Max von Hausen again? If they are meeting in battle here, it might kick the Germans into gear, and they might try and retake Berlin. Also, I noticed here, as one of my aircrafts made it here from another area, which I guess I forgot, is that the German capital is under attack by a whopping 3 Russian full stacks that are coming up from the south. What is this? Cuirassiers. Why odd picture for them? There's a mighty German army inside. I don't think this one just on the border of supporting them. I don't know. Looks bad for the Germans. They are sending in troops to flank the Russians in the back, but I'm not sure if that's going to work out for them. Let's just go ahead, move out here a little bit. I want to see what's going on here. It might be that the Russians... Ooh, the Russians are sending up a lot of troops here. Have a pretty good chance at, once again, taking Königsberg. Damn. The Germans are definitely not doing well at this point. Not doing well at all. And the Russians are doing just fine. Soon enough, the revolution will kick in for them, but that's for another day. Right, we need some extra troops here. I've wanted some flamethrowers, right? Trench gunners. I don't know if they are not very good, are they? But we'll get 2 just because. Royal Marines, Rifle Corps, Africa Rifle, we get one of those. 2 flamethrowers, probably need more. No snipers. And that's it for now. I'm going to be recruiting more troops in this area soon enough. Right, Hague makes another advance. Closing in on Pomerania. And then Allenby will be moving into the woods. Set up an ambush if it is that the German general wants to come here. Probably not, so I'll be moving to him. We'll have a bridge battle where the Germans defend on the side of their side of the river, and I'll have to cross. So that'll be interesting. But what we're doing now is Dorin going ahead and laying siege to Zagreb. So we got Archduke Joseph August of Austria. He looks kind of like he kind of looks like a movie star, like those old movie stars, kind of. He doesn't have a lot. Home Guard, a few Feldjäger, Imperial Infantry. He does have pretty good battery to face us, but not really the experience for them. And he's not a very good general, is he? We'll be bringing in the cavalry as well. I'm thinking we'll bring them in from another angle. So I'm gonna bring them in from over here. I'll be turning up behind the enemy army. With that, let's jump straight into battle, shall we? Here's a troop deployment. I'm thinking something similar as we've done before. You know, the troops as they are. We're gonna move forward the machine guns. I think I'll actually have one machine gun kind of go here. This hill means that I won't be able to lay fire upon the enemy until I'm very at the top. So we better to have one machine gun going on this side, being able to cover this bit here, than to wait for both of them to end up here, which will take quite a long time. Also, the new troops. We've got the anti-tank snipers. Someone actually said that they are really good at taking out artillery as well, just because I guess their bullets give off so high damage that unlike a regular unit that has to shoot quite a lot at the gun carriage to actually break it down, they don't have to shoot that much, and they just kind of just break through everything. Right, with that said, let's go ahead and start. I'm gonna start by setting the positions that I want my machine guns to move to. That's the wrong one. There we go. And then we'll have the troops advance. And the cavalry is actually turning up right behind the enemy. Currently, let's see, the enemy is not really deploying its artillery. The only thing that we would fear is their artillery. We're only getting one unit though of cavalry. But the cheeky Australians could move in and destroy their general. Since their artillery isn't firing back, we might as well fire on their cavalry instead. And fire the gas towards the infantry battalions. So there's no point, if they're not even firing back, to waste a lot of time dealing with those. Right, machine gun set up there. This machine gun is going to be set up there. Right. The Australians are ready and are shooting at the enemy general, but so is the two other rifle cavalry of the enemy. They haven't been destroyed by my artillery, so the Australians have to retreat. Heavy losses, 60 men lost in that advance, bringing the enemy though closer to their position. Probably be able to actually shoot down the general, gassing the woods. It's a lot of home guard actually defending just along here, and not so much down here. I think we have a good chance of just charging our way through there. Let's put a holding force towards this. Let's try not to lose our Australians once more. So we'll be retreating that way. Right, let's turn the artillery, the attention of the artillery towards the Austrian line, as I intend there to try and bayonet charge the home guard. That's a little bit of a risk, but given that the enemy isn't giving me much of a resistance by not even firing their guns at me, then I'll have to make it hard for myself. Be careful here, the machine gun's about to set up, and I think it might shoot my own man. I'm banking a lot on the fact that the home guard will break as soon as they touch our bayonets. Because we lost a lot of troops in these charges. Okay, I'm bombing my own men right now. Let's see, we are overwhelming them in certain locations. In other locations, not so much. Probably would have wanted to hold off a little bit. We need to hurry in and help this one right here. Because this one's down to 18 men. Here we're doing fine. And here we were able to overwhelm them. A group of 13 Scots. Should probably not go ahead and hold fire, hold fire. Don't shoot our own. See if you could please go ahead and... Oh shit. My cavalry. Damn. I'll tell the cavalry to leave. Leave the field? Ah, they're gone. Unfortunately, I didn't pay attention to the cavalry, unfortunately. Oh, you came back, you did? Right, destroy the guns. Right, there we finally go. Slow advance to that. You can fire at will on the retreating troops. 13 Scots. I mean, given how... Oh, machine guns, open up fire on those immediately. I don't think the angle's great for the machine guns. Right, turn around and fire upon them. They're stuck in between machine guns and angry Scotsmen. A very costly victory. An unnecessarily costly victory. But I have to do something to make it interesting, given that the enemy is a little bit bugged right now. Making it a little bit difficult for me to produce good content when they're not putting up much of a fight. But then again, I mean, my allies have been doing so well for me that we haven't really been struggling at all throughout the campaign. Maybe in the very beginning, that first fight was actually quite difficult, just because the Germans had so many troops in comparisons and so many artillery. But I mean, we're on what video? I can't remember which one we're at, but we've done quite a few, and at this point I'll have to make it difficult on my own, it seems. Anyways, the battle was won. Let's move back to the campaign map and take a look at if we can actually make a independent Croatia. Here's the result of the battle. So unusually high amount of losses, 863 out of 2,158. Still leaves us with 1,300 men. The enemy, of course, losing everything, including the Archduke Joseph August of Austria. In terms of who killed what, gas killed the most, no surprise there. Who lost the most? Australian Horse lost everyone to the man with no men remaining. They managed to shoot down the enemy general though. Next after that is a Highland Battalion, losing everyone but 39, killing 85. So high losses in those advances. Australian infantry here losing 100, killing 31. Here we won one that did pretty well. Lost 77 and killed 136. So that's pretty okay. But overall, we didn't do too well. Highest killers, machine guns are nowhere to be seen. They never really fire that much. 64 men. Let's go ahead and see here. We can go ahead and liberate it. Oh, wait! We create... It's not Croatia. It's the state of Slovenians, Croats, and Serbs. Huh. Oh, so it's basically Yugoslavia. Or at least those are the colors. Right, so unfortunately we lost an Australian horse. I want to make an attempt on the capital of Vienna before the Italians go ahead and make another attempt on that. And before the Russians go ahead and get an idea about getting both capitals. Well, I mean, the new German capital. Very unfortunate of the Polish here to be fighting. They're stuck right in between the Germans and the Russians fighting there, burning the countryside and so on. Not a great place to be. Right, we'll go ahead and set up trade with the state of Slovenes, Croats and Serb. Trade agreement. You, sir, will rue this day. What? Why? Hostile. Historical grievance. Minus 115. Damn. I liberated you. You should be at least a little bit thankful. I'm gonna give you... Ooh, probably not give them nationalism. That is a bad idea. We'll give them everything else. They can watch some Charlie Chaplin silent film. Machine guns. And all that jazz. Alright, we'll give you this in exchange for trade agreement. Our talks are complete and, well, a success. If you'll excuse me, I will. So, not as hostile anymore because of trade and a forced military alliance, but still very unhappy. So no one likes the Serbs unless... except for the Spanish. Interesting. Right, so we did actually. We didn't get Croatia, we got Yugoslavia instead. Maybe I should incorporate Serbia into that. Or Greater Serbia should be incorporated into that. Because right now, I mean, the territory is really kind of modern day Croatia, isn't it? You could, yeah, you could, but I don't know if Yugoslavia was that great of an idea. They have Serbian troops, it seems. Right, Dorian is going to recover a little bit, and he's going to move on Vienna. We've got Hague, he's going to move on Pomerania. We've got Allenby. Hopefully he's going to make the jump over and take out Moltke at the bridge here. Opening up the road towards Dresden, Saxony. Not that that is a victory condition. I think as far victory condition as we go to Western Prussia. But we're closing in on the end here of this campaign. Which is good because we're slowly running out of time. Early November 1918, it's late April 1917, so it's not that much. We don't have that much time to go ahead and figure things out. Make sure that most of my allies like my vassals. Serbia doesn't mind that no one likes them as much. I don't think anyone's declaring war on them over there. For my Yugoslavs, the Russians hate them, and the Austrians hate them as well. Is there anything else that I'm forgetting that we need to say, or need to do, or need to show? No. The only thing is I need to remember to advance the fleet. Not so much because, I mean, it will move, but it will increase this jump over here. Like when we move forward, this bit will be hopefully able to jump so we can get... It's gonna take a while. We should still be building on the fleet, right? We can be building something here. I'm worried that that port will get screwed up when I upgrade it, similar to what happened in the capital, where I no longer can recruit troops. Hopefully the military base will fix that, and there was just kind of a temporary stop there in the middle. Anyways, saying anyways quite a bit. Not as much as saying can I liberate Croatia, but there we have it. And I'll say as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.